Welcome, collective, to your Universal Love of Extension reading. Love Extension reading, Unison reading, Universe Love reading. Okay. Welcome to SGL Spiritual Guide and Light. If you are new to SGL, welcome. As you can see, this is a new channel, so make sure that you subscribe so that you can be a part of the success and growth of this channel. This reading is for now, current, and for the month of January. I will, you know what, I need to put that. Actually, I'm not going to timestamp it. Moving forward, for those of you who have already subscribed and you have returned, welcome back. Now I have to change my smidge. That's one thing about the ashes from smudging. They get everywhere. But when I put my element light on, you can't see the flaws. But unfortunately, in order for me to be able to utilize the mic so that you can hear me clearly, I have to make adjustments. And some of you have sensitive senses when it comes to listening. So when I have the readings without the mic and it's just an open space, I'm losing a lot of viewers, and they're missing out on their readings, and it's not their fault. It's just the discoincidence, whatever you call that word. You know, it's stagnation. Basically, it's unbearable for certain people to be able to listen to open space. So, moving forward, we will fix the flaws. But for the most part, I just have to figure out how I am going to just having a brief conversation with you, viewer. This is a collective reading. Earth, air, fire, and water signs. If you're not familiar with what your element is, I'll go ahead and go through that because, it's a lot of information when you step into the world of spirituality. It's like I can kind of just take this fabric, hey, I don't know everything, but let me put that back because it's kind of blaring everything. But so, yeah, the flaws is in the mesh, whatever you call this stuff. But either than that, I'm going to have to work with what I have. Why is my camera acting up? Hold on. Let me see. Come on, adjust. I need you to adjust, camera. I don't know. I showed. There we go. Okay. Thank you. I was like, what is going on? That's what I get. That gold was bringing out that fire energy, that sun energy. And it was like, hold on, wait a minute. Anywho, so Universal Love of Extensions, which now I'm changing it to, I'm changing the title to love of extension and just highlighting the tags as unison, universe, love. Okay. And these are done once a month. And so I didn't want to timestamp it. It's supposed to be for current in the whole of January, but I'm being guided not to timestamp it. It's just going to stay open. All inquiries, email spiritualguideandlight@gmail.com. There's no rush on like trying to get a piece of paper and trying to write that email down. That information is in the description box. Everything that you need that I think is that you may look for is in the description box, okay? And if there is something in the description box that's not there, definitely email me and inform me what that is. That would definitely help me out. So, Most High, thank you so much for blessing me with the gift of intuition as an intuitive reader. Allow this reading to bring clarity, confirmation, and understanding for the collective earth, air, fire, water, and oh goodness, I said earth, air, fire, and water signs. Okay, thank you. So again, like I was saying, if you didn't know, your zodiac sign that's connected to your element. If you are a fire sign, you are Leo. Let's do it in order. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and then if you are a water sign, in the order that it's supposed to be, it would be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If you are a earth sign, you are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And air signs would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what message comes out for you for your love of extension, aka as known as universal love of extension. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. What message do you have for the collective? All right, the cosmos, and this is definitely connected to the channel reading that I'm currently working on. And I'm happy that this came out because I actually was going to collective before making the decision to come on and do the love of extension reading. I have a channel message called Beyond Measures. All right. And so it wasn't the difficulties of understanding the channel messages that I was receiving. I didn't want to rush. Normally, I'll just get on because I feel like the collective is missing the messages and I have to get them out there. And now I'm being spiritually and divinely guided to slow down. There's no rush. And so that's kind of difficult for me because I'm really a hyperactive person with I'm a ball of energy. And it took me a while. It took me years to train myself to slow down, even though the mind is fiery. It feels like, a fixed sign of air, but no, I'm really hyperactive. So if I know that I can slow my body down and being content, humble, however you want to, call it, when it comes to adjusting and adapting, bear with me because I'm going to start taking my time with your readings. I feel like everything now should be right on time than trying to move ahead of time, if that makes sense. So we have the cosmos here. I want you to go ahead and look at that image. I have some stakes stacks, stakes, whatever you call these things that are supposed to hold canvases or whatever. And I know that if I was to use them, you wouldn't be able to see that. You would only see the side view, because before we got the camera, the up view that we have, remember we were using the laptop, so it was kind of like you were having the side view, and where you were able to look at the card a little closer, because I was able to bring it closer to the camera. And I can do it here, but it's just about the adjustment that kind of is a little disruptive in the eye view. So ironic, there's an eye, right, with the moon. And what I love about this healing, with, if you can see, you would think it's the doves, the two-sided doves, up and down, as above, so below. What am I seeing in this visual? I'm seeing, I'm hearing fairy energy, but it's beyond that. That you control the illusion is what I'm getting from this image here. Where is my paper so that I can timestamp when we actually start this reading here? I'm seeing life and death here. There's someone walking here. They're in their own conscience. And then you see trees back here. That's why I said life and death. It's like merging the consciousness with present, as well as the unknown realms that transpire. This feels more like a comfortable place. Yeah, because look at boundless, the cosmos. It deals with boundlessness, direction, and creative force. All right. It says, what time is it? 12:55. The night sky holds many a wonder, some that we can see with our eyes, and some that we can only know with our hearts. Take time today to connect with the cosmos, go stargazing, read about the lunar cycles, or study astrology. Let me read that one more time. So I'm feeling like this beyond measure is connected with the collective love of extension. It says the night sky holds many of wonder, and some that we can see, some wonders that we can see with our eyes, and some wonders that we can only know with our hearts. Viewer, take time, okay, to connect with the cosmos. If you can start, today, tonight, go outside stargazing. Read about the lunar cycles or study astrology. Also, it's kind of like read about the placements within your energy. So this connection with the cosmos here, let me give you a little back end of this collective reading that's going to be coming out, Beyond Measures, right? And it is also connected to the cosmos, as well as the astropy, all right, which is one of the stars that's within the cluster, the star cluster constellation of Taurus. Okay, and that deals with star words: ascend, unison, arise, oneness. It's definitely lightning energy. All right. Someone who has a starry face, meaning you're naturally attractive, whether it's in your shadow energy or your light energy, you are energetic. It's more automatic, okay, um, natural state. Just your natural force is attractive. Um, an affirmation that you could say is, I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. Let me say that again. An affirmation that you can use, right? When there's a lack of direction, right? When you are trying to be creative, or when you want to free yourself mentally or from a situation, circumstance, person, adversity. It says, I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. Okay. I will make sure that I put that affirmation in the description box after we conclude. So I think timestamp started at 12:55. So I'm going to use the African Tarot. And you guys know that I'm still new at using this deck. So work with me. I'm going to clarify using the beginner's tarot. So, all right. What does the collective earth, air, fire, and water signs need to see within this cosmos of this love extension? All right. I'm hearing that regards to illusion, the fact that there's now an awareness of you playing a big role in pertaining to illusions, and that is a choice to bind yourself to those illusions by accepting those illusions, things that are not real, hopeful, hope, not wishful thinking, hopeful lust, wanting something that you can't have, and doing anything to get what you can't have. This means you have had confirmation that something is rejecting a need or a want. It's saying nope. And someone is doing whatever they can, right? And it's like this awareness of illusion. So moving forward, it's kind of like some people, get off on that. They like, that brings in competition, a competitive energy. Some people get off on, if I can't have what I think I want, it's a challenge. And then there's this competitive energy of the fact that I know I can't have it, I'm going to prove that I can. So with this Ace of Wands here, and with the sun behind there, if you want me to be honest, that's the moon in broad daylight. Sorry to tell you that that is definitely the moon. But if I was to be open and say, okay, yeah, it's the sun, the Ace of Wands, fire energy. Okay. The reason why is I'm not understanding why there's life, right? If I would call this a Sega palm, I would probably call it a Sega palm. Why is there life in front of this tree of life that's alive, but it has no responsibility? It's because it's an illusion. There's life, there's ground, There's life in the grass, but yet it's dry. An open space with all this fluid and flexible energy, the water, which is calm, with different hues of blue. But then we have this sun that has a remnants of the moon. So it's all about unbinding yourself to an illusion. So when it comes down to love, if you're aware that you're alive and you've removed all responsibilities, because this is the boundary that you've created, so there's a sense of where's the connections? It's just you with bare branches, but there's life in front of you. And I feel like the life in front of you is this greenery here. The life in front of you, it's so close, but it doesn't mean it's near. It's like as if I was to take my mind out of the box, it would be like someone's, like, take a picture while someone's holding a leaf in the picture, right? Where is that coming from? Or you can reverse the scenario. Are you this branch of something that is alive, and you're focused on life that has no, that needs assistance, that needs help? Are you worried about the wrong things when you're already connected to something that has life, that has nourishment? I feel like there is a lot in the collective. It's like you worried about everything else. That love that is that comes off like the moon, but yet it's sun energy, fire energy, trying to take responsibilities over lineages that have nothing to do with you. The only thing in common is the grounding, the connection of oneness, of being grounded, and that's what's in common. Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What other messages that's coming out of here? Because the cosmos, I don't know. Have you ever seen the stars in broad daylight? We have the Ace of Cups here. Okay, this is two arcanas. Okay, and it resembles the Star card. It really does. A water barrier. In a good place. This is someone that, again, worries about everyone else. I think that's what makes someone feels alive. The fact that they can be an assistance. Someone just can't help it. If they see that something needs assistance, they are to the rescue. You don't have to ask this person. This Ace of Cups. When there's two, okay, it has to be three arcanas. What is this one? The Seven of Wands. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands here. This is African Tarot, and I'm learning it. Definitely learning it. Okay. Let me see what the Seven of Wands looks like in the I can't think right now. This is the Five of Wands. Let's find the Seven of Wands. Ten of Wands. I can't think of what the Seven of Wands look like like it's just not, but yeah. I love this wand and this full energy. It's a commitment. Okay, Knight of Wands. Come on, where are you? Seven of Wands. Okay, the Eight of Wands. Okay. Page of Wands. Everything but the Seven of Wands. Let's see, Four of Wands. It has to be here. Did we pass it up? Tell me. Seven of Wands. Okay. And you guys know how I love the Seven of Wands, and it's crazy. I couldn't even remember what it looked like. But what I love about this Seven of Wands is there's two perspectives. And remember, I said this sun is fiery energy, but if you were in the state of illusion, this would be a moon in broad daylight. And I know that some of you, if you haven't seen the moon on the opposite end of the sun in daylight, you would kind of know what I'm talking about. And if you have not, don't feel like you are left out. Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to interpret is basically having control of illusion and knowing when you're in that state. Okay. Now, pertaining to the Seven of Wands, you can look at this in two different perspectives, collective. You can look at this Seven of Wands as support is there. Someone's trying to hand you their wand, and it's due to the Four of Cups of anger and stubbornness, that star energy within that cluster of the constellation of Taurus. The Pleiadians. I can say the word, but unfortunately I can't remember. And it's attached within this beyond measures. Okay. With your affirmation, I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. Astropy, Cosmo, okay, that deals with unison, that deals with oneness, that deals with ascending, and that all comes from the star cluster constellation of Taurus. All right, energetic lightning, and that's what looks like happened here. That this tree was struck by lightning. Okay, it's not bruised, but it's definitely it proves that there is lack. It is in its true natural state, and it's grounded, accepting the natural state of what it is. Some of you feel like this. You feel alive, but it's kind of like, is this it? And there is this realization of, well, there is this thing where it comes where we have to realize that where we're grounded mentally, physically, that there comes a time that we have to gather up our strength and pull what we have planted ourselves into, and we have to pull us out of the ground, and we have to, recycle, break ourselves down, return ourselves into the soil again, and replant the seed and starting over again. Okay. I can't stress it enough how bad it hurts me when I'm driving out, here and there, doing errands, and it takes quite a bit to get to point A to point B. And when I see orchards and there's trees in this state, and so they get all pulled up, grounded out, and rooted out, and it just hurts my soul. It does. It just hurts me, and I know that they're going to replant but they replant mature trees. They don't start all over from the seed. They already have premature trees. So it's kind of like the fact that you're in your premature state. You don't have to start all the way over. You kind of have a head start here. Back to the Seven of Wands. It's all about taking the support, getting out of that stubborn energy from the water, right? Thinking that you have things under control because this water is steady, but in the air, it's blue, meaning someone is caught up in their head, okay, thinking that they got this and that they don't need help. So that's the other perspective of refusing assistance, okay, combative energy. So looking here with the African tarot, it's seeing your own inner demon, and your inner child is saying, this is literally giving me, yeah, you see, it's an adult, but it's a child. So but they're sticking their tongue out. It's kind of like this shadow energy is saying it's time. It's time. You fill in the blank of what it's time means to you. But what I see, it's kind of like, okay, do you want to stay in a drought? Or do you want to experience have a fresh new story? And what I love about that, I know it probably, look at there's fulfillment, starting a new story. It can be a little, cause people to be angry for those who can't process that you can start a new story anytime, any moment. Literally, it could be so simple as someone who has a vehicle, just purchased a vehicle, and they're like, you know what, I really don't want a bill. So they say, you know what, I want to start the lifestyle of using a bicycle, despite of the different seasons I may have to go through. I don't want to finance anything. I just want to pay for a bike. And bikes are expensive. And I'm talking about a bicycle. I'm not talking about a moped or a motorcycle. And there's different kind of bikes, but I'm just talking about a bicycle. You can change your story whenever you feel. Even when it comes to relationships, I know there was a lot of people that were irritable. I get like that too. Sometimes I don't want to hear good. I don't want to be preached to. I don't. But then sometimes I have to get out of this dry state and pull up that root and say, okay, I'm premature, so I don't need to start from scratch. Okay, let me hear it. What am I being closed-minded to? Why am I aggravated? Why am I irritated? Why am I short patient? You know? So there was some, energies that I was feeling that were angry because they didn't want to accept, especially if you're married. If a person wakes up and says, you know what, this is not the story that I want anymore, especially if it's the only reason why I have to use this as an example, because there's a lot of people who have settled with someone else's story and they've never they haven't not for once lived their story, besides being open to a relationship that has an extension, a package basically. But this package comes with responsibility, kids. So there's a lot of people out here who said, you know what, I want to try this out. I want to be there for someone. I want to help someone. And then realizing, okay, is this the way life's supposed to the rest of, and then they wake up and they're like, no, I have every right to say, you know what? I need to change my story. I wish you well. And then that person has to find someone who wants to settle and conform to that storyline. It's everyone's right can live. And then if you're single, it's more so you can change your story whenever you feel. Okay. And those of you who are not married in romantic and relationships, or however you want to fill in the blank, you can change your story. And it's not about the explaining. I think we're all about, in the quick mode of, well, I have to explain why. No, you don't. So this fulfillment is a learning lesson. You can stay where you are, okay? Or you can realize how much control that you have. The only reason why I pulled this hangman out of here is because there is a lot of tradition in these wands. It's like it's a requirement and a commitment of certain requirements of fire energy, things that you can't change. You can't change that the sun is the sun and that it's active. It's like before being enlightened, it's kind of like, this feels like court to me, but it's not. And with the Seven of Wands here, it's kind of like, as an adult, we all have still childish behaviors. Whether if they're reckless or healthy. Reckless is kind of like your typical grow up, and some people say, oh, you're stuck in the high school phase. And it's not that. It's just modern adult child behavior, right? Some people just can't adjust to the now. And I feel like with this Seven of Wands, that once someone gets over it's just taking life serious, things serious. And it's kind of like when you're in that energy and good spirits, you battle the now. It's like you don't have to wait to be in good spirits, to be fulfilled here. You don't. You don't have to wait for someone to come in to take care of you. You can change the narrative. Because I feel like someone has a lot of responsibilities that no one asked you to take those responsibilities. But there's this awareness that you're like, okay, I don't have to do this anymore. And now there's this obligation, like if you pull back, people are going to be mad. Seven of Wands energy. So there's this on and off fulfillment of making people feel like they need you. And then if you don't get your way, there's this silent treatment. And I feel like someone is literally getting lost in this illusion that life is going to stop because they don't get their way. The Hangman is very reckless, okay? Very reckless, unpredictable. And necessarily, I love to try to break down metaphors when I can. when I'm not thinking about breaking it down, when it naturally comes in, um, that that natural that I was talking about, that attraction, right? That lightning. It's like you're the star. You're part of the cluster, right? And there's an awareness because some of you are like, I am not fit to go stargazing. I don't nobody got time for that. Well, then look at yourself. Something to think about. Because in the Seven of Wands, this shadow energy here is saying, look what you're doing. Look at yourself. You know better. Reacting, but there's no people. This is an adult having a moment and realizing, like, I literally pushed everyone away that I care about. It was a fulfillment at the moment, until your own shadow self says, did you get what you want? And you look around and you're like, damn, did I do something wrong? Look at this Ace of Wands here. A dysfunctional family. All right. I heard a man say that all of my seeds are going to die. And when I heard this man say this, it threw me off. It was like my conscience was paying attention to what the older man was saying. And I said, what do you mean your seeds are going to die? I said, why would you say that about your children? And he repeated it again. He said, all of my seeds are going to die. And I remember saying, I know you're not talking about your grandchildren, because in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do whatever I can to, protect my children, fight for my children, make sure I can provide. And from the point, I want to say my daughter was 4 or 5 when he said this. And now she is going on 17. So it makes me think sometimes. Some of you have decoded things from the past that didn't make sense to you then, and now it makes sense to you now. It's like, yeah, grab your popcorn, grab some water, grab some snacks, do whatever. I have to take my time. It's like when I have to pull away from a channel message because it just literally is a lot. Some of you, when they say star seed, that you're grounded is to seed, bring life. Okay. Let's clarify. Clarify this 7 of Wands, please. So understand that you, at any moment, now I'm not encouraging anyone to start stuff that she can't finish. Okay. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you've done a full cycle, a full course of something, if you decide that marriage is not for you, it is not for you. If you've never dated in your life and you say, I don't want to be in a relationship, I want to actually experiencing dating. First, if you still have feelings with the person that you're actually committed to, ask them, hey, let's take a step back. Let's try dating. It's something I've never experienced before. Give them the opportunity to experience that, right? Be a part of that journey. And if they choose that that's not what they want, then do what you need to do. It's just kind of like, today my favorite color is purple. Let me experience the all depths of purple. Let me learn about purple. Because it's just kind of like, having a major and you think that it's something that you would enjoy, right? And then when you start diving into it, it's kind of like, nah, this is not something I want to make a commitment to. Every choice has to do with a commitment. Okay? Whether it's temporarily, short, long, everlasting. Imagine all the powers that are everlasting commitments, and that's why we're able to do what we're able to do. We're able to breathe. We're able. Gravity is amazing, isn't it? Um, that's why I said, let me do this universal love of extension first before I do the channeled message beyond measure, because I was like, okay, how am I going to explain this? And all I can say is I just have to just release on how I know. So let's clarify this 7 of Wands here. So we have the cosmos here, realizing that you're a starseed for some of you. Others of you of getting out of this illusion. Some of you taking responsibilities, that removing responsibilities that are not yours. Others of you, it's more so of starting a new story. We have the Page of Cups with the Ace of Cups. Believe me, when I do channel messages, I be like, okay, God, what? I don't know what you're trying to, I don't know. And then it makes sense. And I'm like, if I wasn't obedient, what would I do? Right? Be lost. We have the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups, right? When I get the Page of Cups, this is letting me know that people can't see what you see. You have to put action so that they can. But there's certain things that people don't need to see. And I feel like those things that most common, us in the collective, that things that we don't want people to see, is how we truly feel, the emotions, things behind the scenes, the dysfunctionality. You know what I mean? The things that we sweep under the rug, the things that we'll say, oh, I'll get to it when I can, the emotion. And I feel like when we look at the bigger perspective, I think what people can't see, what you see, is that when you see this water that's troubled waters is the fact that we can't see how big the cup is, right? You have a responsibility of your own cup, but we really can't see the vast of how large the actual cup that we sit in. Moving forward. And then there's the Ace of Cups, that realization, the overflow, and that your responsibility is of how you want it to flow. All right. Let's go ahead and move forward and look at this Ace of Cups. Again, there's 1, 2, 3. I'm finally, there's 3 arcanas. Hold on. Let me see. I've been waiting for this forever because I always get 2. I always get 2 arcanas, never 3 or more. And I have been waiting to see. So we have a Ace of Wands and an Ace of Cups. 2 Ace of Cups with an Ace of Wands. It's still not going to show me anything because it has to be 3s. Okay. 3s or 4s. I was so excited. But there's 3 arcanas. That's what's crazy. I don't understand. Okay. What does the collective need to see within this Ace of Cups? Well, but wouldn't the Hangman be an arcana? It's a major arcana too. We have the Nine of Wands. A lot of fire energy. A lot of fire energy. And I feel like it's uncontrollable fire energy. You guys know when we get the Nine of Wands, this too shall pass. So if you're doing things that you don't want to do, and you finally you're surpassing it and saying, you know what, not my responsibility. It's like you can be childish about doing it, or you can be the bigger person and say, you know what, I can do this until we find someone to replace me. Or let me show you how to do this, because unfortunately, I got other things that I want to do in life. You know what I mean? Or just allowing someone to participate in your story where there's difficulties. Because you're a star. But the question is, when is the last time you actually took out the time to look up? To pull in some new stars. Because here on the earthly realm, you're being acknowledged as a star. Now, those of you who are introverts, empaths, you have to acknowledge your star seed. And that's how you're able to seed other stars. That's your responsibility. And now that you're able to see, this too shall pass. Let's go ahead and, because this cosmos of your love of extension is all about boundlessness, direction, and creative force here. What does the collective need to see in pertaining to this Ace of Wands? Does something flip over? It gets me every time I think it flipped over and it didn't. What does the collective Earth, Air, Fire, and Water signs need to see the Ace of Pentacles? Now I got my 3 arcanas. Yep, I surely do. Okay, so we have. Wait, this is crazy. These are Pentacles. It's just the Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, 2 Ace of Cups, and then 1 Ace of Wands. I know you guys are probably like, what is she looking at? I'm looking at the groups of arcanas. Okay. And how they're broken down into 3s and 4s. So still didn't get that. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Both of these are gifts. Okay. I love these. Learning how to now effectively use your gifts and how to receive other people's gifts. You fill in the blank on how your representation is in pertaining to receiving gifts from others. It could be time. It could be contact. It could be communication. It could be acceptance. Remember the channel message that's connected to your love of extension is the negotiation of beyond measures. I just heard negotiation, but the channel message is beyond measures, right? To have a great attachment to an affection, to have a passionate desire, longing, and feelings, to like our desire, to do something, to make love to. And the affirmation is, I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. You're a natural, very lightning, attractive. And if you feel that you're not attractive, you You are very impactful. You know what I mean? It's like, even if you feel like you're not attractive, it's kind of like, you know how you can rub the ground really, really fast and create this stagnant and then touch someone? If you don't get your way, that's what you do. You make your lightning present no matter what, even when you don't even realize that's what you're doing. How do you create this energy? Through water. Water conducts energy. And when you conduct that energy, then boop, the universe says, here you go, love. Just what you asked for. Some of you are like, I didn't even ask for anything. Well, you better start reading. You better start paying attention to figuring out of knowing thyself, because you're doing something. Some of you, it's reckless behavior with this hangman, within the seven of wands, and your spirit guides and shadow energy is saying, would you stop it already? Like, come on. You're making it hard for them. Goodness gracious. Let me clarify and look at the dark end of this, because for some of you, I can literally hear someone saying that all dark figures doesn't mean they're dark. You're right. Let's just say your spirit guides. They're like, hey, we got other stuff that we want to work on. We ready to start this new story collective. Like, I know it's hard for you. Some of you are hoarders. And it doesn't have to be, it could be paper, hoarders of papers. It's taking a long time to get rid of papers. Hoarders of containers. Some of you are hoarders of vehicles. You know, if you haven't refurbished the metal by now, sell it. That's just a suggestion. Maybe this is awakening you and saying, okay, let me start waking up and, you know, getting my emotions in order. The Ace of Cups, so that I can conduct that energy. And whoa, you know, that hoarding is why you're hoarding, right? People can't see what you see and why you're holding on to things. So it passes, it surpasses. You start conducting your energy, right? And then boom, the universe says, oh, this is what you need to finish doing this. You know, doesn't necessarily have to, it could be someone popping up to assist you, to help you. And do forgive me, because I'm just releasing the message. All right, tell me about the Seven of Wands with the Ace of Cups and the Page of the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. Okay, that's a major. Wait a minute, that's not a major arcana. I can't think. It's my mind is working too hard right now. I can't think. Yeah, it is. Now I'm excited. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Cups. We have three aces. It doesn't even matter. Okay, we have three aces here. So this lets me know it's confirming the new beginning. Okay, you can start your story whenever you feel. Okay, it's going to be uncomfortable for some of you. Others of you, you've been waiting for that confirmation, like you ain't saying nothing but a word. You know what I mean? So it also deals with success and money. And I feel like this is what this Ace of Pentacles is. It's like, you do your part. Don't worry about the rest. Boom. You get what I'm saying? So, yes. It's just about growing up, okay? Maturity. Okay. Let's go ahead. What does the collective need to see and pertain to this Nine of Wands and this Ace of Cups? Hold on. It's two Ace of Cups. 1, 2, 3. No, it's two Ace of Cups. Okay, we have two Ace of Cups, but let me see. There's three aces. The Queen. Okay, let me see. 1, 2, and 3. Because aces deal with ones. And then queens, I believe, is 2. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we already seen that part. The Queen. So just forget about it. We have the 2 of coins here. Clarifying the Ace of Cups with the 9 of Wands. What is that noise? All right, just one moment. Let me finish this reading. I don't like it when I get distracted. Just give me one moment and we're going to timestamp it, okay, when I get back. So the first timestamp was at, I think it was 10:55. And then the second timestamp, we'll see. Just one moment. All right. Okay, so the next timestamp will be at 1:03:17. 1:03:17. I think I can remember that. All right. What does the collective need to see? Let me clear my energy since I had left the reading. What does the collective need to see with the Ace of Wands? The Ace of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is going to help someone be able to pull out the old, like Hierophant energy, so that it's like you have the option to start all over, like really knowing thyself, right? Doing the inner work, or you can just, work smarter, not harder, and kind of just accept your premature self and move from there. Collective. All right. So what does the collective need to see within this Ace of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands? Ooh. I'm going to bring those over there. We have the King of Cups. in reverse. And I'm assuming the reason why the King of Cups is in reverse, because you have the Ace of Cups here with the Queen of Cups. And there's a lot of masculine energy, and it would cause someone to, this is like heart attacks or, what is that called? Vitiligo, where your senses cause some kind of distortion. So this King of Cups actually is a good thing. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and that's that stubborn energy, that anger energy that I was talking to you about in the beginning of the reading. Let me tell you the reference. It was in reference. No, it wasn't part of this reading. But it's the Star of Fire. So yeah, it is connected to this energy. The Star of Fire. Let me just go to it. Where did I put that reference at? The Star of Fire. Remember, we're talking about you, star, fours, foundation. Here it is. The Four of Cups. This is as a side note here. I feel like it's more so in this hangman, representing this hangman over here. The Star of Fire represents fours, foundation, okay, as well as development and plans, right? Preparing and actually putting forth the action, all right? It's confirming unity, but it's this Four of Cups is anger and stubbornness and willing to work through it. With the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Knight of Cups, willing to work through it, serving self, and willing to discard the old emotions and replacing it with healthy emotions and distributing those emotions and filling the cups of those whom you have interrupted. Okay. Because where was the Four of the Seven of Pentacles? This right here, that childish behavior. Okay. Just go ahead and cover up that impulsive hangman. All right. So how are we going to conclude this universal, this love of extension? Okay. It's like the power of the mind, the power in your hand, the power in your emotion, your drive. And I just really feel like it's just this vision of unity. It's just more so of being a walking star and creating your stories, creating your memories. Your memories don't have to be set, you know. It's reminding me of you know how they used to have those little red, they came in different colors, but I just remember a red one. And you would put the slide in there and you would click it and it would show you different slides, right? No matter how many times you look at it, the slides are never going to change. So after a while, it's kind of like there's no need to look at it because you know what those slides look like. But as a kid in the Seven of Wands, but then when you become older, those memories are more of an attachment and are more precious. For some of them, it's more traumatic, right? So it's like, do you want to continue traumatic, or do you want to expand experience? I don't know how to explain it. So your affirmation, again, I'm just going to be obedient. This is giving me more so of a sacred beyond measure that's attached to this universal love of extension, this love universal reading. Affirmation, I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. It says, I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. Okay. Yeah, a walking star. Huh. And right when I said that, I started to see, you know how you can go to Hollywood and they have the stars with the names on it or whatever? Out of all the stars, the only star that I took a picture of was Earth, Wind, Air, and Fire. And the only reason why I did that is because it was 4 elements. Never knew why, but out of all the stars, everyone is important. But I feel like someone is realizing that, and that's a representation of grounding as well. It's actually a grounded statue compared to a statue where, you know, we can be walking and seeing it and having a broader perspective, looking at the bigger picture when there's a statue that you can, you know, look straight ahead or look up. These are statues that people are actually walking on. You get what I'm saying? Plaques are statues. It is a walking, there are plaques that are grounded that people walk on. And now it's making sense where it's like I said, there's some of you who are like, I don't have time to look up to pull in some new stars. When you stargaze, pay attention. You're bringing life. They were just waiting to feel a sense of existence, just how some of us are walking on in this earthly plane, wanting to feel a sense of existence, a belonging, or wanting our needs to be met, wanting our dreams to come true. So there's just a role that people pledge to say that they're willing to make a commitment, but it's a lie. I'm hearing stumbling upon a star. Stumbling upon a star. Some of you who are aware that you're star seeds, you're not planting any seeds. I don't know if it's due to selfishness, because you may feel that certain people are not deserving. That's not your role. That's not your role to decide who's not deserving. Because like I said, anyone can change their story. And some of you are becoming aware that you are star seeds. And there is this sense of being open to serving. Okay. All right. Don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle. And that is you and I.